Hello and welcome. I'm Sophie Sparks, a community manager here at the Information Lab, and I was recently lucky enough to talk about doing good with data to Neil Richards, the editorial director at Viz for Social Good, and Amanda Patist, the former community director at Viz for Social Good. In this conversation, we covered how they got involved in doing good with data, what their favorite projects were, and how you can get involved too and make a difference no matter how much time you can give nor what your skill level is. Now, I hope you find this conversation as inspiring as I did, and I hope it gives you the boost to get involved with doing good for data, whether that's with Vids for Social Good project or with a local charity you care about, or if you are a nonprofit who needs help on making the most of their data with us through our volunteering at Till Plus. So I hope you enjoy this conversation as much as I did. Let's get started.
So my role at Viz for Social Good is editorial director. So I mean that's sort of important for two ways. One is mainly it's exciting to be part of the leadership team and on the board, because it's been going since I think about 2017. So I know Chloe started talking about it at the conference in 2016.
Yeah.
And it's kind of the Tableau conference kind of built from there. So I was a fairly regular participant for quite a while, and now it's pretty cool to be part of trying to run the thing, especially as we approach getting non-profit status ourselves. So I mean, the editorial director side of things is that I try and be responsible for some of the comms and the publicity. Try and be responsible for perhaps some of the external speaking opportunities, like speaking at the Tableau conference very shortly. But also social media, things like that. So if you can't understand why the Twitter sort of doesn't put U's in words and puts S's and not Z's, it's because it's me who's generally behind that as well. So essentially the way it works is we have these days probably about half a dozen projects each year where we partner with a non-profit. We work with them essentially to see if there's a story that we can tell, if there's anything that we can do with a data set that they have that they don't have the opportunity to do themselves, which is usually going to be because they're a sort of relatively small organization and their own skill sets aren't necessarily going to include those people who can do data visualization, things like that.
Yeah.
People who look after the data are more often likely to be out there in the field, sort of trying to help the people that they're dealing with and sort of grappling with data in their spare time as well. So we try and identify or work with non-profits that we feel that we can really help tell a good story. We've got a fairly good process at the moment, which means usually once we've decided on what it is we need to do, and once we have a project to work with, we usually have about a month or 6 weeks where we make that data available to our volunteers, and we've got, I think technically we've got a few thousand people on our books, but I would say there's probably in terms of those who are active, there's probably a good couple of hundred active volunteers. So we'll make sure that our volunteers know about that. We give them the opportunity to create a viz, and then our non-profit will decide which their favorites are, which they might want to use. The great thing we do at the moment now, which is a fairly recent addition in the last year or so, is that people have a Zoom meeting back with the client, which is an opportunity for people to talk through their dashboards and to present them, which I think is immensely helpful both to the guys who are designing it and probably both to our partners as well. So it gives them a chance to sort of talk through, to show them maybe the filters and highlights and things like that, and the different things that they've included. it really sort of helps, I think, everyone feel that bit more involved in the process. And then, yeah, it's kind of a matter of sort of repeat after that. We're developing all sorts of internal things as well, just to sort of try and build our community, sort of, coming up with internal favourites and rewards, and working on a sort of a system where, almost a sort of gamification system, if you like, where people can they can progress, they can collaborate, they can see amongst their peers sort of who's producing what, who's done what over the last several projects. And so we're looking for more sort of opportunities just to build internally like that. And that's probably kind of a good summary. We do other stuff as well, like we've got sort of outreach and education stuff going on. So we've got organisations that are working on some of our data sets just as part of an internal training or educational system that they've partnered with us so that we can help out their newcomers. So we've got some great work that our education team are doing with that. Yeah, I'll leave it there for now. We're always sort of looking at ways to grow, and always looking for more sort of partners to work with.
My last role was Director of Community. I mean, I have been part of Viz for Social Good for, I don't know, I mean, since the beginning of my time at Till, which I recently learned was 6 years ago. Time flies. But yeah, started as a volunteer and then went into chapter lead and then into the directorate role. And I've now gone back into, it's not really a chapter lead anymore, but I'm still on the community team. I just thought it was time for someone else to take the lead. Honestly, I heard about Viz for Social Good when I think it was Tableau did around New Year's, they did a hashtag data resolution. And they were kind of asking, so what would you want to do with data this year? And I kind of just replied going, I want to do something a bit more meaningful with data, try and help people out and so forth. And then I'm pretty sure it was Chloe who then replied to my tweet and was like, hey, I've got a great project for you to get involved with. So that's how I started getting involved with Viz for Social Good. So I had also, I can't quite recall what the chronology of this was, but I had also been doing some work with the Tableau Foundation at the time. Yeah, and I have always enjoyed helping others learn and sort of get the most out of not just data, but also just complicated concepts in general, which is also what I loved about when I was in science. And it was just a really great opportunity to be able to do that.
The Tableau conference kind of built from there. So I was a fairly regular participant for quite a while, and now it's pretty cool to be part of trying to run the thing, especially as we to approach getting non-profit status ourselves. One of my favourites was let's pick a couple. I really enjoyed working on one for Furniture Bank Toronto, and I guess I picked that because that's one that I had a go at myself and sort of tried to put in a sort of Neil style visualization where I was able to just disaggregate and just show as best I could the huge amount of work that this particular charity had done. The vast number of donations of furniture that they've been able to then sort of give to more disadvantaged communities in Toronto. And I enjoyed that one. I think another one that I enjoyed was Bridges to Prosperity. I think we've got a good relationship with them. And I think one of the reasons I particularly enjoyed that was being part of the presentation back and the feedback, and the genuine realization that until we presented back our visualizations, they didn't know quite how many people they had helped. They had a sort of apologies if I'm doing them a disservice, but they had an idea of what they thought the overall number of people was they'd helped, and we showed from the data there was actually more of that. I think I'm going to pick two figures that might not be accurate, but I think they thought that they'd sort of helped several, 700,000 or 800,000 indirectly, yeah. And we sort of came up with a figure that was over 1 million, that over that landmark, that really helped them have a new angle in some of the comms that they were able to put out. And it was just sort of delightful to be able to help in a relatively simple way, just because we had the time and resources and the sort of dedication of folks who wanted to do some visualization, and we're able to help these guys who've been sort of working so hard out in Africa, and actually sort of be able to put a better number on it than they thought. So those are a couple, but I mean, yeah, I've had lots of favorites over the years, and I like the fact that everyone is different.
I mean, the whole experience of being part of Vis for Social Good and seeing it grow and become its own NGO, that I think has been amazing. But in terms of the project that I worked on, that was my favorite, was actually what I did through I think it was through the Tableau Foundation, but I actually got the recommendation from Carl. But it was working with the Prince's Trust.
Okay.
Yeah, because this was really something where I dedicated quite a bit of time to it. I actually went in and worked with one of the guys from the Prince's Trust. We went through all of their data and figured out what it is they actually needed to build. And I was actually able to build them operational dashboards that actually really help them. And I got to be a part of seeing how it helped them. So because I got to see it from sort of start to finish, that just being a part of all of it and really seeing that it really helped their initiative, I really enjoyed that one. I've learned a lot of stuff. I was able to be exposed to a lot of different charities and NGOs, which I would not have known about previously, and all the good work that they're doing. So there's that. I have learned that I've also, this is maybe a little bit of a weird thing, but I've also maybe learned and realized how some of like the best work in terms of what these different NGOs and charities are doing don't necessarily always get the help that they need in terms of data, etc. I mean, I guess that wasn't really something that I needed to learn. It was probably something that was quite obvious to Chloe when she set this up, but really being exposed to it, I mean, it just became a lot more real, right?
Yeah.
And I learned also that, at least from what I saw from this, something that, for us is quite fun to do, really makes a lot, or what I hope is a big and lasting impact on the charities and NGOs that we are able to help out. And I think that's I just think it's a really beautiful thing to do. I've also learned that being part of running at the NGO is not easy. It's quite a challenge, but it's a really fun challenge.
The other great thing as well is that we have very often each time there's new people who contribute, and so again, I don't have the figures, but it's not uncommon to see that 50 or 60% of submissions each time come from new participants. So I think people do really find it a great part of their own learning process.
Yeah.
And some often the winners are new participants as well. We might not necessarily have predicted the same, or it might not be we've got a couple of great names who always do well, but there's always a couple of new names as well every project.
That's fantastic. So people, you can see that people are using Biz for Social Good as a platform, because I mean it's all as a platform to increase their learning. That might sound a bit Machiavellian, don't speak to charity, but in reality, you're dedicating a lot of your time to creating these visualizations and to helping the nonprofit. So if you're getting something back, so you're learning new techniques, then that just makes it all the better, and probably more likely that you're going to go on and do some more.
Absolutely, yes. It was always created as a community project, and there've been so many of these great community projects in Tableau and throughout sort of data viz tools, whereby people have an opportunity to contribute. You have all the sort of benefits of seeing what everyone else is doing at the same time, and different ways you can learn, different techniques you can work on, and it's a great benefit to yourself. The advantage of Viz for Social Good, and I'm sure the advantage of Till Plus and other such projects is that you have the additional benefits of being able to you do have real data there, which is helping out real people. But there's no reason why you can't have both advantages. The personal advantage to your own development, and the assistance that you're giving to the nonprofit. As I've said, we welcome any visualizations, and so many are from newcomers. I would basically say go to bizforsocialgood.com. If we have a current project, you can sort of go to the link. I think it'll be on About and Projects, and you can find where that is. But if not, just sort of sign up, and you'll find out when the next one is. There's also a link. We have a Slack community as well, so you can sign up. I think there's the Slack link is on the website, and you can do that, and you can introduce yourselves there, and people will say hi and let you know when the next project is, that kind of thing. So usually there's sort of half a dozen a year, so you're never far away from one, even if there isn't a sort of current project, and there's no obligation whatsoever. You can do as many as you want, or you can do none at all, but hopefully it's a good community to be part of and to see what people are doing, and we welcome anyone just joining in and asking questions.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, just get in touch.
That's great advice.
We're always happy to have people helping out. The team is still growing, actually. So we do have spots for community help. We've just got a director for marketing. So like there's all sorts of help that we can use. So if anyone is interested in being part of the team, just reach out. You could use my Twitter if you want.
Yes.
And yeah, I mean, in terms of getting involved outside of being part of the leadership team, just hop onto the website, pick a project, and make a vid.
Do it.
Just do it. Just do it. We are in the process of launching more of a gamification sort of. I don't believe we have a title for it yet, and it hasn't launched yet. But basically, with the aim of getting making it also a lot more fun and collaborative for the volunteers. We have Slack, so if you want to get involved. On our website, you have all the details for getting in touch there. Come and introduce yourself, join a project, and we'll take it from there. Just be part of the little community.
Thank you, Neil and Amanda, for giving me your time, and I hope you found those conversations as interesting as I did. Here are my key takeaways from talking to Amanda and Neil. Firstly, getting involved also improves your data skills. You can help a nonprofit while also growing your data visualization skills and improving your ability to work with data. It's a win-win situation. Second takeaway is getting involved is always worth it. It helps no matter what you can do. The nonprofit or charity you are helping desperately needs your help to make more sense of their data or to help communicate it to the outside world. And it's always worthwhile for yourself, and you feel like you can see the results you are doing. Third takeaway is the best time to start is right now. Even if you only have 5 minutes, you can sign up to be a Viz for Social Good participant, and whatever time you can give is better than no time at all. So the best time to start is now. And getting involved opens up other opportunities. We heard both Amanda and Neil say how when they started to get involved with Viz for Social Good, that it opened up opportunities for them to be part of the board of directors, but also other opportunities to learn and meet people. If you want more information about Viz for Social Good, please head over to VIZ for social good, or one word.com. It's up here on the screen. And if you're a nonprofit and are interested in us here at the Information Lab helping you out with your data, we also have a volunteering initiative called Till Plus. Please click on the link you see in the top right-hand corner of the screen to find out more. Thank you so much for joining us today, and I hope to see you at one of our other events. Thank you.